This will be a nice match on Craig Dunes between two very good players, Scruffy and Lord Vader. So we should see some of the highest quality gameplay in FA today. So we see Scruffy starting with Factory. Got not much else planned. But one thing to remember about Craig Dunes is there are a lot of nice mass wreckages to reclaim early on. So a lot of players, like we see Vader here, he's not even worrying about his mass extractors with his ACU. He knows he'll have enough mass just from extracting these. He is making 3 factories and 6 P-gens. So a lot of power and a lot of build power from factories. Same thing we see here, 6 P-gens, 2 factories, and early NG. The NG is gonna get the mass extractors. So we see a hunter from Lord Vader. It looks like it's coming to this mass extractor here, and we see this NG from Scruffy has got a plan to go into this area. This area also has a lot of mass wreckage, so it's likely that a player will send an early NG in this area. So good placement by Lord Vader. And we see 2 radars from Vader coming in, so looking at both choke points on this map. And this hunter is just going to sit right next to this mass point. And now it's actually not going to wait and it's going to move in. And this is the wrong choice, because there's an Aurora here waiting. An Aurora has a much longer range than a hunter and takes the easy kill. So first kill of the match. So no early raiding from Scruffy at all. He just had his Aurora waiting for the hunter, and only one hunter basically early on from Lord Vader. He is sending a few more hunters and a mantis along with his NG. So NG's going to try to get some of these mass wreckages to reclaim. But now there's an Aurora moving in. He's going to try to take out the NG. Here another confrontation. So the Aurora using their dominance in terms of range. They are a little less mobile than the Mantis, but if they have a nice flat spot to fight on, they will always win. See Auroras, 4 Auroras versus 3 Hunters, and Hunters actually try to make a fight of it, but it's really unfair. So we see Lord Vader's NG trying to get the wreckage, gets killed. So early on, it looks like Vader is getting the better of map, although it's kind of hard to say because the middle spot belongs entirely to Lord Vader at this point. We see Scruffy. It's going to be first interaction between the ACUs. And you see Scruffy making a PD, trying to hold his choke point, and lots of small army units from Scruffy trying to encircle Vader's base, trying to prevent these mass points from being capped. Vader's taking the free mass. It's interesting to see that his ACU is being guarded by an NG, so just in case he wants to do an early upgrade or something like that, or wants to make radar somewhere. It's a pretty small map, so a single T1 radar covers most of it. And we see actually early T1 air from Lord Vader, so this is great for scouting. No T1 air from Scruffy yet. He is making a T1 air factory. Now we see a first real fight. We see Vader pushing in with his Mantis. But Scruffy knows he's safe because he's got a PD behind him. He always has a good place to retreat. And now Vader will protect his Mantis and push his ACU forward so that he doesn't lose his units needlessly. So far 8 kills, 9 kills for Scruffy, 12 for Vader. And we see some mobile artillery trying to take out, actually already took out the T1 PD. So pushing past the T1 PD. We see Vader's units are all pretty focused, while Scruffy is trying to control the entire map, but it looks like his ACU might be in trouble. and Vader's ACU below 4,000 health, so he doesn't want to explode Scruffy's ACU. They would both die. Oh, we see a nice bomber from Vader. He's actually already got 3 kills. So that's the thing about Auroras, is they're pretty weak in armor, so bombers are very deadly. And now we see a single interceptor from Scruffy getting 2 kills and 2 bombers. And one thing to note, we see a whole bunch of this wreckage, and right away Vader is cleaning up, getting all that wreckage. Same we see from Scruffy, so it's alright to sacrifice Engis if they're reclaiming. See 2 Auroras and an Arty getting behind Vader's base, killing mass extractors. But for the most part, it looks like Vader was able to push back. And we see a T2 PD, so a T2 factory. So here we see a few T2 ground from Scruffy. I see the blaze. No T2 ground from Vader yet. Vader retreats. We see T2 PD being built by Scruffy. A nice defensive point here. Vader using his NG as well, pushing him forward. Probably a capture. And still throughout the game it looks like Scruffy is controlling more of the map. But now it looks like it's going to be a nice pushback from Lord Vader. However, a push on this side of the map results in a pushback from Scruffy. However, it's going to be ACU versus units. We see a T2 flag here. The ACU is most likely going to win. 40 kills for Lord Vader now. Only 9 kills for Scruffy. So Vader using his ACU much more. And now we see the first hoplites from Vader. So these units have great range, the longest range of all the different units on the map at this point. Except of course for the T2PD. This T2PD should keep this area relatively safe. And Scruffy tried to push his PD even further, but Vader killed the T2 NG, so that's a pretty big loss. And now we see the T2 versus T2 fight in the middle. And so far it looks like Aeon is winning, but there are more hoplites coming in from the back. And really these should be pushed further of course. There is an ACU waiting here, so 56 kills. So still it looks like Scruffy is getting the better of this fight. So early on the Aeon Aurora is really dominating. See Angie's getting the mass extractors, always nice to see. You see right following this nice army from Scruffy, you see Angie's following up and extracting. See the NG attack move. And this is where the T2PD is really going to do its work. Maybe a T1 would actually be better. Not enough fire rate. Got a couple kills, 4 kills for this one. Oh, and also a really nice push from Scruffy, except it's going to run into this PD. Take 1 PD and it's just move forward, and it doesn't look like Scruffy realized he's just wasted his entire army. So 14 kills for this PD, 15, 16 before it dies. So that single PD basically took out an entire army. It's a very big loss for him. That's going to be a lot of wreckage to reclaim. And now we see a nice push from Vader directly on Scruffy's base. And it's interesting to see here we have some cruise missiles going after the T2 factory of Lord Vader. Really nothing else to shoot, because T1 mass extractors and T1 factors are just too cheap to shoot down. So really the only target. Maybe not the best move from Scruffy here. Oh, we actually see our mercies from a T2 factory. However, oh, Vader was very close, 1500 health. But no more mercies, 2 more mercies, and this would have been a win for Scruffy. But it looks like this did not pay off. So investing in a T2 factory, but neglecting ground, and Scruffy's getting ran over. See some T2 engineers just hanging out, about to be killed. Well, it looks like an NG fight here. So now we see these cruise missiles just flying, trying to taking out T1 mass extractors. It's not the best thing you want to do. So it's surprising that well, Scruffy could have tried to snipe for Vader's ACU. Of course, he would have probably dodged it, but a single missile would have killed him. Instead, just shooting at random units will not help much. So actually, if we still look at this, T2 mass extractors from Scruffy, so he still has a pretty decent economy, just not a lot of units, not a lot of build power. Should have plenty of power. And the standing army for Lord Vader is just too big for him, most likely to challenge. So really not enough build power to do much for Scruffy. Just doesn't have the time. He does have a T2 gunship. And these cruise missiles keep on shooting, but actually take out the T2 factory, so this is still pretty nice. But Scruffy's ACU is running low on health. See Hoplight's getting quite a few kills. So 37 kills, nope. So this is game over for Scruffy. Really well played by Vader. Even though Scruffy looked like he was dominating most of the early going. Had nice control of the map. But it looks like that Mercy snipe did not work, and that was the gamble that from which Scruffy could not come back. So well played.